Hello and welcome to the Latah Valley Fiber Co podcast. My name is Tiffany. Thank you so much for joining me today, taking a little bit of time out of your busy life to come and see what I've been working on. I have a few things to show you, a finished object as well as some works in progress. So, a few things first. You can follow me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can direct message me lvfiberco@gmail.com. And if you want to check out my shop, latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. And I have a few things shop related. So let's go ahead and start with that first. It is officially June, so I had a few things on my schedule to put into the shop, and those few things were project bags. I have made quite a few, and of course you can check out the shop for all the details, but I made 25 project bags out of cotton fabric in a variety of spring colors. So this small bag is perfect for a smaller project like a scarf or socks. You can fit several skeins of yarn in here, as well as your knitting needles and your project. So I have this pink wildflower pattern with pink on the inside, and these are all drawstring, so they go like that. I have several in this size. It's 10 by 8, so 8 tall and 10 wide. So the fabric on the top matches what's on the inside. I really like this one, and actually this one. And again, it's the soft pink fabric. Also on the inside. There is no pocket on the interior, but these are the small ones, so I think it's okay. This has a green top, and this one is slightly different in that for the casing, when you close it, it has this on the top, whereas these ones do not. I mean, they do, but they're shorter. So yeah, so those are a couple options on that. So these are listed as the small drawstring project bags. And then I have medium, which are actually not in the shop yet. I'm still working on, so it's all the same spring patterns, or fabric, sorry. I'm thinking too much about yarn. So the fabrics are all the same, it's just a bigger. And then so this is the medium project bag. And on the medium, they have the accent color down here on the bottom, as well as the top and then inside. So these ones are ready to go in the shop. These are also lined with, not interfacing, but it's a cotton filler that helps the bag to stand up on its own, you know, with your project bag in there, or your project. It stands up on its own with your project in there, as well as there would be room for your pattern. So this would probably hold any, unless you were doing a blanket, this would hold any size project for you. And this one is almost done. I ran out of cording, so I had to stop off at Joann's, but it's the same as the other one. I just don't have the cord in there yet. So again, the solid on the bottom, as well as the casing, and then the interior looks like that. So those will be in the shop. These small ones are 25, and then the mediums are going to be 45. So check those out if you're interested. I know several of you have been waiting anxiously for those to come into the shop. Okay, that's it for shop news. So let's move on to finished objects. I actually just have one finished object, and it is the larch. Let's see. I started this on, I should have worn it today, but it's actually pretty warm. I started this on May 7th, and I finished it June 4th. The pattern is the Larch by Tinks and Frogs. The yarn I used was my own hand-dyed yarn in the lavender. It's one single ply, fingering weight. I used 3.5 millimeter needles. I did the alternate cast on, which was in the pattern. And then I messed up quite a bit on the lace, and I just went with it because what I found was this was not a very good traveling project, because it's a chart. Once you get to this lace section, it's all charted, and I kept losing my spot, and so you can tell that I got a jog in the patterning, the lace patterning. And this is also not blocked yet. So you can kind of see that the patterning is not exactly spot on. But I don't think it's going to matter once it's on, you know. So it's a handkerchief style, I guess. Oh, it's caught in my hair. Anyway, it kind of goes like this. Oh, there it is. It's not quite long enough to, oh my gosh. There. So here's the two ends. It's not quite, and maybe with blocking it would stretch out. In fact, I know with blocking it will grow. So this is what it looks like without blocking. I was wearing it last night because it was a little chilly in the house, and it was actually quite warm. So it took off the chill, which was nice. I suppose that this size, you could also put something like this in your hair, which could be fun. Was this pattern enjoyable? It was okay. I would have liked a little bit more engagement, because the eyelets or the lace of the pattern is all just supposed to be going down in a row. So, you know, it was mindless. There you go. It was mindless knitting. So I might do it again in maybe a more, actually I like the purple. So the lavender. So this is my one finished object for the week. And I believe this is a free pattern on Ravelry, so go check it out if you, I guess if you want to knit this. The draw to this was that you use one skein of fingering weight yarn. And a lot of us have that in our yarn stashes. So, yep, that's my finished object. My one finished object for the week. Let's talk about my whip. I am working on the Ginny cardigan by Andrew Mowry. I've been working on this for quite a bit, since March 20th. What's the new that we've done? Oh, I finished the sleeve on the left. And, oops, okay. Yep, here we go. Maybe should have put this on a hanger. I did that one time. So here's the sleeve. Did I do the length? Yeah, I did. Okay. I did the length that they wanted, that Andrea had on there. And then the cuff, she wanted you to do 6 inches so that if you wanted to, you could fold it down for that little extra warmth around your wrist. So that's why it's a 6-inch cuff. I also, I did make a modification. So she had you doing some decreases down the sleeve, and for me it's already snug, so I didn't do any of those. I like my sleeves fitting fairly well, especially on cardigans, because most of the time I have either a tank top on or short sleeve, so I thought I don't really need, you know, the room in the arm or in the sleeve. So it's tight fitting as it is. And then Andrea had you decrease needle size to the 3.75, and, or what she said was the smaller needle. And I can't remember what that was in the pattern. I just went down to from 4 to 3.75. But then I also decreased, which is why you can see it coming in here. I decreased 10 stitches just around, so that it was nice and snug around my wrist, which I like. So there you go. One sleeve is done. I have not, of course, weaved in the ends, and I think it's really pretty. It's really, I tried it on and I can't wait for it to be done. So the next thing I need to do is pick up and knit the other sleeve. And then there is a belt that you knit, and that goes around the middle. I may or may not do that, actually. I got to thinking that I might actually not do that. We'll see. I'm going to wait before. I'm going to try it on, block it, try it on, and then decide if I actually want to do the belt. I may not want it cinched around my waist. We'll see. But so far, yeah, that's where we're at. I like the sleeve a lot. It's really, really fun. Okay, so that's it for the Ginny cardigan. And again, that's by Andrew Mowry. I started it March 20th and it's June 4th. I've been really slow on it, actually. I thought I would be done by now, and I'm not. But those bags have taken up a lot of my knitting time, which, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. So, what else? I think that's it on the Ginny. Oh, I am using my own hand-dyed yarn, Latah Valley Fiber Co. in the pitch colorway. So there is 5 skeins in the shop if you would like to check that out. So let's move on to future cast-ons. We have hit June, and as many of you know, I am doing an advent calendar for my husband, 24 socks for him to open December 1st through the 24th of this year. I have finished May's socks, and now I need to start June's. So I am going to be doing, so in May I did scrappy socks for, well, one pair was scrappy, and I found that I actually barely used any of my scraps. So I am going to do another scrappy pair of socks by Summer Lee. I think it's the Scrappy and Happy pattern. And I'm going to start those this week. I should start those this week. And then, oh yeah, Happy and Scrappy by Summerly Designs. And so I'm going to start, that'll be my first pair that I start for this month. I would like to use up all those scraps because what I will be doing with this pair of scrappy socks is weaving in the ends as I go. Summer does have that listed in her book. So the last pair that I did, which was 10 of 24, there were a lot of ends to weave in. So I am going to try her technique this time, so I'll keep you posted on that. Okay, so that's my future cast on, is 2 pairs of socks for June for my husband. Okay, I have picked out my Christmas Advent for this year. And this year, I'm going to do fiber to spin. So I bought two sets, and I am going to wrap them, and I'm not numbering them. I'm going to wrap them, and however I pick, that's what I'm going to spin for that day. So I got these from Paradise Fiber, which if you follow them, you'll know that they've recently, well, not recently, in February, they had a fire on the outside of their building and ended up, there was smoke damage to all of their yarn. So they've had to restock, and they're currently going through that process. This was available. It comes in a pack. This one is called Starry Night. And besides this white, these are all dark colors. So my plan is to spin these however I draw them. Whatever one I pick, I will spin that for the day, and then the following day I'll pick a different one. Now, I am going to have these, oh, so this is the Starry Night. This is the Very Berry, which you can tell there's a big difference. This is going to go onto one bobbin, and then this one is going to go on another bobbin, and then I'll 2-ply them together. That's kind of my plan. So there are 12 in each. Oh no, there's 10. Sorry. There's 10 in each. So I am going to be short 4 days worth. So what I thought I would do is maybe, I don't know yet, actually. What I was originally thinking, I don't like that idea now. So I'll have to come up with something else. Maybe I'll buy a couple skeins of yarn and stick those in there as a surprise. So this is my Christmas Advent 2024. If you followed me early on, you will have known that last year I did do Vlogmas for the very first time. And I opened a Christmas Advent from Knitty McPurley, who, by the way, her Advent is on sale, or it's not on sale. It's in her shop to buy. It went in this week, I believe. So if you're looking for one, hers is pretty reasonably priced. It's $150 for 24, 20 gram, I think they were 20 gram minis. So that's pretty good. And she's doing a fade this year. So if you like fades, you should check her out. Okay. So the final thing I'm going to show you is my month-long progress on my temperature blanket. And this is for May. I haven't technically actually started June yet. I'm a few days behind. So let me find, oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so here's the marker. It's getting awkward now because it's ginormous. Here's the marker. So part of this was into April, but most of this is May. Okay. So you can tell we're getting into warmer weather with this maroon and the blue. And then it cooled off again, and then it warmed up, and then it cooled off, and then we had one warm day, and then it's been cool the end of May here. So I'm really hoping that, I'm going to move this marker up while I have you here. There we go. And I'm going to put it on here. And this, I think, was a 70. Oop. 70. Oh, come on. 70 degrees is this grayish color here. So it does warm up in June of 2013. So here's the blanket so far. Basically, it's a wrap. Oh, it's cozy. Yeah. So I knit on this the first thing in the morning because it's cooler in the mornings. And it's nice to have this on my lap as I'm knitting on it. I love the colors that we're moving into, the blues and the maroon, and yellow even pops in here at some point. So there's the blanket. It's pretty thick, it's pretty long, and I actually had to move it out of the project bag and into a bucket. So this is the bucket that's holding it currently. I do have my yarn for the project in here, and it sits like this on the side of my chair. So I just get my cup of coffee, reach down there, knit the day. Although most of the time I knit several days on it because I'm behind a little bit. Not a lot, but 7 days is not abnormal to get behind on. Especially since I was working on these a lot. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that, yeah, okay. I think that's it, everyone. Is that it? No, it's not. I recently was given 2 fleeces, sheep fleeces. One is a Suffolk and one is a hair sheep, which I've never actually spun hair sheep wool before. It's not actually wool, it's hair. So that's going to be interesting. I'm currently washing it, so I am going to take you along a little bit on that. I'll probably record, and then in 2 weeks I'll have it all done, hopefully, and we'll go from there. I'm currently washing it, and then I will lay it out to dry and card it on my handmade carder that my dad and I made, and then I'll spin it. So Hudson's teacher this year has the 2 sheep, and so she gave that to me to see what I could do with it. And then yeah, so that's on my plate as well. So I think that's it. I will see you in another 2 weeks with an update on all the projects here, and probably some socks cast on and hopefully finished, actually. So that's it for now. Have a great start to your summer, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.